Ever wonder about those beautiful young Filipinas you see hand in hand with older Western men? What's really going on there? Is it love, acceptance, money, or maybe a midlife crisis at its finest? I've got some first-hand experience dating in the East, and I'm here to peel back the layers of this fascinating cultural puzzle. So come along as we dig into the reality of these relationships, talking openly about age gaps, how society sees things, and some truths about dating that usually go unsaid. In this video, we're going to explore why so many stunning Filipinas decide to date and marry older Western men. Like any cross-cultural relationship, these relationships have their pros and cons. But with understanding and some work, you might find the pros outweigh the challenges. But before we start, make sure to click the like button if you're curious and eager to explore more. Age gap, a common trend? Now, I've picked up on this trend of Filipinas tying the knot with older men, especially Western men. I've had some personal experiences here and chatted with friends who are married to Filipinas. So, I think I can offer some insights that could be useful if you're thinking about getting involved with a younger Filipina. It's worth noting that it's pretty standard for Filipinos to marry someone their own age, just like in the US or Canada. But what I found pretty unique is how open Filipinas are to dating older guys. Take me, for example. When I was 34, I dated a Filipina who was just 20, and our age difference was never a problem. Thinking back, I'm pretty sure if I was still living in the US or Canada, I wouldn't have caught the eye of many women in their mid-20s. Do you feel the same? If so, give this video a thumbs up and tell us your story in the comments. After sharing about my relationship with a younger Filipina, and being a Thai national who dated Thai women while also spending years growing up in North America, I bet you're curious. Take a look at this photo. That's me, and next to me is an ex-girlfriend of mine. Which nationality do you think I'd recommend most to English-speaking Westerners looking for a partner in Southeast Asia? Thai, Filipino, or perhaps something else? Keep watching until the end to uncover my recommendation. Trust me, the answer might just surprise you. Interestingly, Filipinas' openness to dating older men isn't limited to Westerners. From what I've seen, they're pretty open to dating older men from different places, not just the West. Imagine a guy who's recently lost his wife and is ready to find someone new. Younger Filipinas might be open to dating him as long as he's decent looking, smart, and fun to be around. One thing that really stands out to me about Filipinas, especially the younger ones, is just how mature they can be. Like, I have this American expat buddy who married a Filipina that finished college at 19 and was already working as an office assistant, sending money back to her siblings. I kind of feel like this level of responsibility and maturity, often starting from a young age, really sets a lot of Filipinas apart. They might be young, but they've often got life experiences and responsibilities that make them seem older, which might explain why they're open to relationships with older men. Remember, not every Filipina is looking to date older men. There are plenty who prefer men their own age or even younger. Some Filipinas also prefer Filipino men or have no specific preference for Western men. So, while we're focusing on the trend of Filipinas dating older Western men, keep in mind that views differ greatly among Filipinas. Alright, so we've talked a bit about the age gap and why it seems to be more accepted among Filipinas. Now let's talk about how society sees this, especially in the Philippines. Is dating an older man seen as a good thing, a bad thing, or something in between? Stick around. We're about to get into that in the next chapter. Is it acceptable? Let's keep peeling back these layers. Is it acceptable? Another thing that I've noticed is that many Filipinos perceive older men as more responsible, mature, and kind. When I asked my Filipina girlfriend at the time about the perception of older men as more responsible and mature, she agreed. Now, you might wonder why these matters to Filipinas. Well, it's because they take marriage very seriously, partly due to the fact that divorce is not legal in their country.
The Philippines is the only country in the world, besides Vatican City, where divorce is illegal. Now its lawmakers are working to change that. The Philippine Senate is back in session this week, and it's considering a bill that for the first time would allow people to divorce. Because
of this, they're often on the lookout for a life partner who they believe can provide a stable, loving home. That's why they might lean towards an older man. they think he might be more experienced and ready to settle down. Of course, they're aware that women can only have kids until a certain age, while men can become fathers pretty much any time. This is just one of the many considerations that come into play. If you're thinking about dating someone much younger, remember that the larger the age gap, the more challenges you might face. Here's the key thing to remember. If you're considering dating or marrying someone 30 or 40 years younger, you need to seriously think it through. Not just for you, but for her too. Ask yourself, can we truly connect on a personal level? What will happen to her if I'm not around anymore? In the Philippines, it's generally accepted for a younger woman to date an older man. But let's be real here. Your looks and overall health do matter. However, there are also many Filipinas who are independent and prioritize shared interests over age and nationality. These women might be more interested in dating a man who shares their love for hiking, music, art, or food rather than simply his age or origin. So, if you're 70, bald, and a bit overweight, don't expect a line of young, attractive Filipinas to be fighting for your attention. Or, in other words, don't expect to be treated like Brad Pitt on his best day. But if you're in your 30s, 40s, or even 50s, and you take good care of yourself and keep fit, you'll find that many younger Filipinas are more than willing to get to know you. So, we've talked about the age gap and whether or not it's acceptable. But there's another piece of the puzzle we can't ignore: family pressure and responsibilities. How do these influence Filipinas when choosing a life partner? Let's talk about that in our next chapter. Family pressure and responsibilities. Although family pressure can play a significant role in many Filipinas' choice of partners, it's important to remember that many Filipinas make independent choices about their relationships, free of external influence. With that said, it is common in the Philippines for the parents to encourage their eldest child to finish their education first. Once that oldest kid starts working, they're now in charge of helping their younger siblings get through school. You know, an average worker in Manila working 10 hours earns around $35 a day. That's $35. And those living in the provinces earn even less. With wages like these, it's no wonder many Filipinos who find it tough to get by and dream about working overseas. Even with some negative stereotypes floating around about Filipino women, remember, the wedding bells won't ring without the foreign guy saying yes. A lot of Western men looking for a Filipina bride are in their 40s or older. Some are even divorcees, having gone through tough and bitter marriages. This is partly why many think that Filipino women marry foreign men for their money. I mean, if it's not for physical attraction, what else could it be? It's true that many Filipino women tie the knot for financial security. They do it, though, with the hope that they'll genuinely fall in love with the man someday. No matter how old their husband is or what others think, many Filipino women believe that they will come to truly love him in the end. Some might say that marriage for these women is just a business transaction and only focus on the material benefits. Sure, in some cases, that could be true. Remember that there are numerous of genuine love stories out there. Sometimes it's easy to judge these relationships, especially when we see some Filipino women marrying for money. But let's remember that everyone has different life goals and priorities. As long as the relationship is consensual, we should respect their choice. Now that we've talked about family pressures and responsibilities, let's move on to another critical aspect of these cross-cultural relationships: how they can be seen as a way out of poverty. But is it that simple? Let's find out. Getting out of poverty. You know, marrying for money is not uncommon in many Asian countries, especially places like the Philippines and Thailand. But let's be real here, not all are looking for cash, but yes, a fair number are. And seriously, who wants to marry a deadbeat? I'm guessing none of us. The Philippines, once considered a third world country, is now labeled by the World Bank as a developing country. But the truth is, for a lot of folks there, opportunities to upgrade their lives are still limited. When you're living in a place where healthcare and education are hard to come by, the desire to escape poverty becomes a big deal. Plus, let's not forget that Filipino women are super tight with their families. For some, marriage to a foreigner may open up opportunities to provide better support for their families back home. It's not just about financial stability, but also the hope of building a loving partnership that can enhance their lives in multiple ways. But watch out if you find one and they act like they've won the lottery. There's also this common belief in the Philippines that anyone earning dollars must be rolling in money. That's one of the reasons why so many Filipinos are keen to work overseas. For Filipinas who haven't had much in the way of education, seeing foreigners as a ticket out of poverty is common. Some might frown upon this, but can you really blame them for wanting a better life? It's not all one-sided though. While the Filipino woman may gain a more financially secure life, the foreign man often finds companionship and love in return. It's not a one-sided affair, but a relationship where both partners stand to gain in their own ways. It's true that some Filipinas view marriage as a potential ticket out of poverty. Many others marry for love, companionship, or shared life goals, regardless of their partner's financial status. As mentioned before, the Philippines is still a developing country, and it can't provide the same benefits for its citizens as countries like the US, Canada, or Australia can. Being able to study or work overseas is a big deal for Filipinos. Even though everyone has the right to a quality education, it's not a given for all Filipinos. Most public schools funded by the government are packed to the roofs and lack the right resources. On the other hand, private schools with better facilities and teaching are pricey. We've talked about the potential of marrying a foreigner as a way to seek better opportunities. But what is life really like after marrying a foreigner? In the next section, we're going to dive into the realities faced by many Filipinas who have made this choice. The realities, life after marrying a Filipina. This chapter might be the most crucial if you're seriously considering tying the knot with a Filipina. What does life look like after marrying a Filipina? Do all the fairy tales come true, or are there more realities to confront? First things first, marrying a Filipina, particularly if you are a Western man, often comes with certain life changes for her. The most obvious is relocation. Moving to a new country is no small deal. It's a cultural shift, a different way of life, and in some cases, a stark contrast to the life she had back home. Adapting to a new country can be both exciting and challenging. New experiences, different traditions, language barriers, all these can be initially overwhelming. However, Filipinas are known for their resilience and adaptability, which often help them settle in and become a part of their new communities. Yet, it's also essential to remember that relocating doesn't just mean changing physical locations. It's about leaving behind family, friends, and a part of herself that's deeply rooted in the Philippines. The longing for home or homesickness can sometimes be quite powerful, and it's important that her partner is supportive during these times. Another aspect to consider is the way society might view your relationship. Stereotypes often follow cross-cultural marriages, but it's vital to not let this affect your relationship. Respect, communication, and understanding are key in navigating these situations together. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Let's talk about a common stereotype about these relationships. It would be unfair to say that all Filipinas are purely seeking love in these relationships. Like in any other people, there may be individuals with hidden motives. There have been cases where some Filipinas have taken advantage of older Western men for their financial security. A relationship that starts with such intentions can lead to disappointment or even heartbreak. Therefore, it's important to establish a foundation of trust, communication, and mutual respect before making a lifelong commitment. Also, be aware of red flags such as an excessive focus on financial matters or a lack of interest in your personal life. On a brighter note, remember that most Filipinas deeply value their relationships and family. They could be living on Mars and they'd still find a way to send a "How are you?" text to their mother, sending payments back home, staying in touch through calls and social media, and making regular visits back to the Philippines is a part of life after marrying a foreigner. The success of any marriage, cross-cultural or not, largely depends on the couple themselves. The foundation of your relationship, love, trust, mutual respect, and shared goals will determine how you navigate life's ups and downs. Every Filipina's experience after marrying a foreigner is unique. Some may face the challenges we've mentioned, while others may have a completely different set of experiences based on their personal situations, their partner's support, and their own ability to adapt and grow. Overall, however, many Filipinas find a deep sense of satisfaction and happiness in these cross-cultural relationships. There's something beautiful about blending cultures, learning from each other, and building a unique life together. It may not always be easy, but patience and a fulfilling life after marrying a foreigner is more than possible. So, are you ready to start on this journey? To experience a unique blend of cultures, values, and traditions? Remember, it's a journey that requires patience and lots of understanding, but in the end, it could be one of the most rewarding experiences of your life. If you're married to a Filipina, what are some of the realities you've experienced? Or if you're a Filipina married to a foreigner, what has your life been like? If you are loving the content on my channel and want to show your support while also getting some incredible perks, join my Patreon community. As a patron, you'll be among the first to watch my videos before they're published on YouTube, and you'll have access to exclusive members-only content. Plus, you'll receive free ebooks and other resources. Your support is truly appreciated and helps me keep bringing you the content you love. Well, you've made it to the end, and it's time for the big reveal. After all my experiences, if someone asked me which nationality I'd recommend to English-speaking folks from the West looking for love in Southeast Asia, I'd pick Filipino women. Yep, you heard right. They have this amazing combination of friendliness, family values, and being able to connect with Western culture. But you might wonder why. Why Filipino women and not Thai or someone else? Well, I talk all about it in my next video titled, Is Retiring in Thailand Better Than the Philippines? And don't let the title fool you. It's not just about retiring. I've got a special section explaining why I think dating Filipinas might be better than dating Thai women. Curious? Check out the next video and trust me, you're in for some surprises. Just click on the video on your screen and let's keep this adventure going.